Welcome back to the story of Kael. If you enjoy epic tales of war, honor, and revenge, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Let's begin.
The crowd roared above him. Kael knelt in the sand, the heat of the Alexandrian sun baking his shoulders. Iron gates slammed shut behind him. Across the arena, a hulking Thracian warrior slammed a massive hammer against his shield. 5 years a galley slave, now thrown into another kind of cage. But this one had a cheering audience. Kael didn't wear grand armor, only scraps of leather and scars. His name wasn't even announced. He was the ghost. The horn blew. The Thracian charged. Kael sidestepped the first swing. The sand exploded at his feet. He ducked under the second blow and drove his gladius into the man's ribs. One strike, one kill. The arena fell silent. Then a thunder of applause. The senator, Aurelius Metellus, stood clapping. A smug smile curled on his lips. This slave would make him very rich. That day, Kael fought 3 more opponents. He didn't kill all of them, but he never lost. Back in the dark cells, the other gladiators stared at him with a mix of awe and fear. He didn't speak. He never did. They whispered rumors that he'd once killed a lion bare-handed, that he had died at sea and returned, that the gods had marked him. But Kael only stared at the wall. He didn't care for fame, only the path forward.
Aurelius Metellus saw the coin flow like wine. From Alexandria to Carthage, from Corinth to Antioch, he paraded his champion like a prize bull. Wherever Kael went, crowds gathered. Wherever he fought, bodies fell. But Kael didn't perform for glory. He treated every match like war. In Carthage, he faced 2 Nubian assassins, faster than any foe before. He countered with precision, taking them down without a wasted breath. In Athens, he defeated a retired centurion turned champion, whose arrogance died under Kael's silent blade. His name changed from ghost to wolf. He never smiled, never celebrated. When others basked in praise, he returned to solitude. The slaves began to respect him. Some feared him. Others tried to copy him. None succeeded. Metellus grew richer. He hosted feasts in Kael's honor, spoke of him as a gift of the gods. But Kael knew better. He was not a gift. He was a debt. And one day, he would collect. Night after night, Kael sat in silence. He did not pray. He did not sleep easily. Each scar on his body held a memory, a lesson. He was a man made of silence and steel. In the pits of Cyrene, a fellow gladiator tried to mock him.
Kael didn't answer with words. In the ring, his blade did the talking. The man never stood again. Kael learned languages by listening. He memorized city layouts by observation. He watched guards, trainers, senators, every movement, every word. He was building something inside. Not hope, strategy. He had no delusion of freedom, not yet. But the empire had patterns, and he would one day break them. Metellus, meanwhile, praised him to the elite, sold trinkets shaped like Kael's helmet, told stories with more fantasy than fact. Kael let it happen. He was a shadow walking beside glory, but shadows never sleep.
Kael traveled now in gilded wagons, silk cushions, fine food, women offering wine, golden chains. Metellus treated him like a pet lion, proud, dangerous, but owned. Kael played along, because playing along kept the road moving. From Sicily to Numidia, his reputation grew. Some cities tried to poison him before fights. Others offered bribes to throw matches. He never responded, only fought and won. In Hispania, he faced a barbarian giant with a hammer as big as a man. The crowd gasped when Kael fell, then screamed when he rose, bloodied but standing, and crushed the man with his own weapon. They began to chant his name across provinces. Kael! 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 But Kael never acknowledged it, because it wasn't his name they remembered, it was his mask.
In Rome, the Senate began to murmur. The silent gladiator? Metellus's ghost warrior? Some said Kael was a cursed man who never died. Others said he was the son of a rebel general. A few guessed the truth. Kael heard whispers during tournaments. Guards spoke carelessly. Slaves gossiped. Someone from the imperial court asked Metellus if Kael could fight in the Colosseum. The answer came weeks later. We leave for Rome. Kael gave no reaction, but something flickered behind his eyes. The road to Rome was paved with betrayal and stone, and now Kael walked it again, this time not as a soldier, as a symbol.
The Colosseum rose before him like a mountain carved by gods. Kael stood in its shadow, breathing in the air of Rome. It smelled of power, blood, and dust. Inside, the arena was being prepared. Animals, slaves, champions. Metellus spoke with senators, showing off his prized warrior. Kael barely listened. He walked through the underground cells, brushing his hand along ancient walls. He felt the echoes of centuries. This was not just a fight. This was judgment. He was no longer a ghost, nor a wolf. He was the reckoning. at dawn, Kael stood before the gate. The guards opened it slowly, gears grinding like the breath of giants. He looked at the sky. The same sun that once beat down in Alexandria now rose over Rome. He took a deep breath. Thousands would chant, but he would not hear them. He walked forward, toward his past, toward his enemy, toward the Lion's Gate, and Rome would remember.
Kael's journey is far over. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, share your song in the comments and subscribe for the next chapters. See you in the arena.